We're at the end of World 2, and this is Exdeath, one of the trickiest fights in this entire game if you are playing it for the first time or if you're playing a Fiesta for the first time. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in this fight, and arguably at the point in the game that you're at, this guy can be more dangerous than the final battles. We'll talk about how we get through it on this classic natural run where I can use Black Mage, Knight, and Red Mage without switching any abilities between them. You saw our Red Mage started off with casting Protect just on the Knight. I did not go for Protect all the way around because the characters in the back have either just enough hit points to survive, or if they take a big vacuum wave, even with Protect, I don't think they would survive, or just barely would so. Another reason is that this Exdeath can use Dispel, and so all those actions, if I'm targeting all my characters one at a time with Protect, a lot of those are likely going to be dispelled away. I don't know if we actually see that in this run right here, but he can use that, and it can be pretty ugly. You can be wasting a lot of time when you could be doing other things like what he's about to do, which is break a Staff of Light. This is kind of a classic Exdeath strategy in World 2 down in Guido's cave. If you kill the Metamorpha enemies that are down there in their Metamorpha form, they have a rare drop of that Staff of Light, which can break to cast Holy one time. So if you have a subpar caster like Red Mage, or even something like Time Mage that doesn't have a lot of offensive power at this point in the game, you can grind for Light Staff and just go for it. I did have one, so I broke it in the first part of his routine, because the first part of Exdeath routine is when he can use area of effect abilities such as Earthshaker right here. We've already seen the Demi spell. Luckily, that's not multi-targeting. Earthshaker can pop out. On that same track, you could have level 3 Flare, so my characters are level 29 right now, so had he rolled that, that would have been a wasted action. I believe that's on the same part of his routine as Earthquake, so he does one or the other of those, but he can use it if he loops back to the beginning of his routine. So we are trying to stay above taking a physical attack in the back row-ish, although mostly we're trying to concentrate getting damage down on him, because in his second form, when he falls below roughly half health, he has a little over 32,000, almost 33,000 hit points. When he falls below about half health, he goes into a what should be scarier, but technically isn't scarier routine, where he just starts spamming high-level attacks and high-level magic, but the lucky part there is those are all single targeting. So if you have enough Phoenix Downs, you can just continually chuck Phoenix Downs at your characters until you can get enough hits in to get them down the rest of the way. But this form has things like Zombie Breath, which does a big chunk of damage to everybody, and anyone who is killed by it becomes a zombie, and then you need to use the Holy Water item on them. So you can see whenever he starts using the Aga level spell, so that was Ice 3 or Blizzaga, he's in his second routine. So we're more than halfway there. Now the key is going to be just keeping everybody alive as much as possible, because he's still faster than us. So if we could take a party wipe here, and we almost do actually, as you'll see here soon. Because if he gets another action here, he can take out those other two characters. So we need to keep 4 targets alive at all times, and then we're just hoping for dodges, because anything that lands is going to kill us. So that Bolt 3, if she had full health, she could have survived it, but we're gonna need to burn elixirs to get up to full health. We can't just do two high potions, because that's just not going to be optimal. And so I'm not going to waste elixirs or waste actions by trying to heal characters up. I'll just let them die, use a Phoenix Down. Phoenix Downs are replaceable. Elixirs are much more challenging to replace. So right now we've got all 4 characters alive and around to use. So now we can actually go into offensive mode here and put some damage into it, because we've gotten a couple dodges and it's lined up for our turns. Now this can be scary, because when you get a turn like this, he can get an action right after your action, and then maybe get another turn where he can do a double action again. Before you get to revive the first 2. So it's technically a little bit risky here. With that in mind, I decide to queue up a healing item from the Knight, and then the Knight ends up eating it before you can use the healing item to try to get her above maybe taking something, because I knew it was going to be trouble. So I was hoping to have his action queued up to do something. I probably could have sat on a Phoenix Down there and waited till that action went, but as it was, he got targeted and went down anyway. So it's a little dangerous there, because we went down to just a couple characters, and if he gets another action again, we can go down to 1 character. And once you just have 1 character alive, that character can only revive 1, and then you've got 2, and then he can take you out in 1 action. So you really want to prioritize when someone is dead, get them on their feet again. Now, luckily, the red mage is the one I kind of want reviving. I would really like to have my black mages able to use their spells. So my knight is going to be doing less damage, especially now that he's equipped his shield. A lot of things were happening there before. I moved the Aegis shield up into the knight's other hand, knowing that he wasn't going to be doing as much damage anymore, and it was more important to try to put the Aegis shield to try to block some of the physical attacks and the magic attacks that could come in, because that's when you can get an edge on the second form of Exdeath, is any kind of dodge, either from the Elf Cape or from that Aegis shield. You can also use the Elemental shields, but they will only block the kind of magic that they're tuned to. They won't block everything like the Aegis shield can. So that is the end of Exdeath, and that is the end of World 2. I know it went by quickly, and as we fade out, we wish you good luck on your own fiestas.